Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in, whatever time of day this is. Um, Alongside, as all of you know, Jan from New York City's with me. Hey, Jan.
Hey, Steve. Hey, everybody.
So, I wanted to just mention, I just recently had the bad weather come through the hurricane, and yes, I survived in one piece. I just experienced, rain and wind. It was just like a bad storm for me. But you go about 2.5, 3 hours away from me, southeast, where the Gulf of Mexico is, not as fortunate. They got, especially Cedar Key, they really got hit. But when I was at the Dollar Tree day before yesterday, I noticed because I walked the store, as I usually do, but do realize something though. A lot of the time, not every time, a lot of the time, the dollar store can be a good place to buy something, but not always. There are a few instances where buying something you would be better off going to a different store and getting it. Like, I will give you an example. This had nothing to do with the hurricane, but I had bought um, some paper plates from there about a month ago, and it was a quantity of 10. It was $1.25, and they were 10-inch plates. They're decent, and I'm still using a couple of three now. But you go to Walmart, you lose an inch. I'm just using that as a guide, not necessarily Walmart, but at Walmart, instead of a 10-inch plate, you have a 9-inch plate. You get a quantity of 50 for $3 and 40 something cents. So in actuality, you would make out better on your paper plates going there rather than buying it at the dollar store. Um, and don't get me wrong, the paper plate that I got at the Dollar Tree is of a good quality. But at the time, I just needed something, to fall back on. Plus, I wanted to try them. But all in all, if you need paper plates, that would be something to consider at a different store, like like a Walmart, just to give you an example. So, so definitely keep that in mind. Not everything at the dollar store is a deal. One of the things that I did buy at the dollar store for the hurricane, I bought some SpaghettiOs. I felt like reliving my childhood again. $1.25 a can. That's fine at the time, you know. But go to BJ's Wholesale Club for 10.99. I can get 12 cans, which is about 90 something cent a can. So I would be saving about 27, maybe 37 cent, 30, 27, maybe 30 cent a can on each one going that route. But at the time, the hurricane, the convenience, it was close to me. I just went ahead and did what I did. But under normal circumstances, you definitely, when it comes to shopping, you really have to know your prices. And I do realize that they fluctuate. One minute, something can be $3 and it can be 3.75, then it can be 2.50. You have that up and down. But it's always good to know your prices, even if it's in the mainstream, whatever. Have an idea of what it is of pricing of whatever it is you're trying to buy. So, Jan, what do you think?
Well, first of all, Steve, thank you so much for having me here. And
Yeah.
also, first of all, I'm glad you're okay over there
Oh yeah.
and all that. Sorry about anyone that wasn't as fortunate. And of
Hmm.
course, we pray for everybody's safety and rebuild it and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Steve, you brought up something interesting in reference to the purchases you just made, and you said something very interesting twice. You said the following words at the time, at the time,
Yeah. Yeah.
because at the time does make a difference sometimes
Mhm.
when we are shopping. Steve, let's pretend a person is on a very, very, I mean, extremely tight budget where, for example, they're only like having $30 that week to spend on groceries for their family for the whole week. Would that be the week to go to another store and spend $4 on paper plates? Or better, if you could, if you need them for whatever the reason, get the smaller amount. There are times, Steve, and I know you agree with me, there are times that it is justified. And even you
Mhm.
said at the time,
Fun.
and
Yep.
I took note of that, that you said the toy. So you're right. And we have to be flexible sometimes because it's not always cookie cutter. It's not always a great time to do it.
Mhm.
But here's one thing that all of us can do all the time, Steve. We're on a device just like we're on right now, a phone or a computer or a tablet or whatever.
Mhm.
We have a thing now that we really didn't get to do 25, 30 years ago. We could do comparison price shopping right from touching our own phone and
Yeah.
looking up the information. We don't have to. Steve, back when I was a kid, there used to be an ad for a telephone book. This is in the ancient days, dinosaur days when I was a child. And the slogan was from Ma Bell was, let your fingers do the walking. In other words, make phone
Yeah.
calls,
I'm familiar.
right?
I know that saying,
You
yeah.
might remember that. And the phone book was there. We don't have to go through all that. All you have to do is tap, tap, tap. Go to a website. Steve, remember the Flip app? That's very helpful too. Like
Yeah,
when you're,
I still have it here on my phone. Do I use it as often as I probably should? No, which is bad. But I do have it. Let's see. I do have it. They're
that's
still
great.
starting
That's
up.
great.
So what that does, just to give everybody a refresher, is you go on there, you download the app, you put your zip code in, your information, and I think it gives you the ability to pick whatever type of stores you like to shop, grocery, certain department, hardware store, things like that. And then you go in and it'll give you a breakdown, the weekly flyer, which is in PDF form. You can actually surf and go over the weekly ad right from your phone and see what's on sale and what's not.
Yes, and you could do the math and figure out if that's accommodating for your family's needs during that specific budget,
Yeah,
food budget week.
right. Because two of the grocery stores that I do have, well, actually three, um, Aldi, Winn Dixie, but there's going to be some changes come about Winn Dixie. I heard that Aldi is trying to buy out Harvey's and Winn Dixie, which Harvey's is like a sister or an offspring of Winn Dixie. So there's a possibility. I don't know if Winn Dixie will completely go out of business or if their prices will change, because I know Aldi is another store I like to shop at when I can get there, because their prices are also very good. You know, don't always think, oh, I got to have the brand name. I got to have the brand name. No, people usually forget a lot of the time, not always, a lot of the time, your off brand is the name brand packaged under a different name. So you're probably getting, like for example, the other day, I had bought some Cheez Its from Publix. They were doing a buy one, get one, a BOGO. And the price was good. I couldn't say no. And then I come across a box of cheddar cheese Cheez Its from the dollar store. Pretty good. Now, that is a good deal because I'm getting 14 ounces if I bought two boxes for 250. But I tasted of it and I said, you know what? And I had the Cheez It kind of right beside me. I kind of A beat it, did a taste comparison. To me, they taste the same,
Amazing.
just cheap.
Amazing.
Just you just pay less money. Yeah. So people think, "Oh, I gotta have the brand name." No, you don't. First off, read it. Read it. Look at your ingredients. Do compare it if you have to. Look at, one left, right. Compare it. See exactly what the difference is. A lot of the time, you'll find out that the off brand is the same thing as the more expensive. Why pay the extra money? You know?
Exactly. I know specifically of an item, that like that mentholated petroleum jelly that people use when they have a stuffy nose or rub on the chest.
Vapor
The
rub?
right? The dollar version versus the national brand one.
Yeah,
Identical ingredients, identical smell. They're
yeah.
both in that blue colored jar too, just saying.
Well, I had about no, more than that, probably 3 weeks ago. Again, at the time, I could have got it at Walmart for 98, but for convenience, Dollar Tree is so close to me. For $1.25, I bought a 40 count caplet of acetaminophen, or as most people know it as Tylenol.
Right.
To me, it's just like buying the name brand Tylenol. I see no difference, just cheaper.
There you go. I
Why
mean,
waste your
for
money?
real.
I don't,
Exactly.
you know,
And here's another quote. It sounds silly to use this word investment, but believe it or not, some people go out to eat. The main reason why, Steve, they don't want to wash dishes. Well, guess what? I rather a person spend a dollar or two on paper plates, for example. So that excuse is over with. You're not washing dishes. You throw them out. I mean, if it means that just to invest a couple of dollars once in a while for the paper plates to avoid, which to me is no big deal to wash a dish, but that's me. That's me. But sometimes people are in inconvenient places that don't really have great plumbing. Or I mean, everybody's life is different.
different.
No judgment ever. So I get that. So maybe to be more flexible, to spend that couple of dollars on the paper plate may be an awesome thing to do instead of going out to eat just to avoid that type thing.
Well, I do know this too. Depending on what you eat, sometimes, and also the quality of the paper plate that you have. Sometimes you can use that paper plate twice, maybe 3 times before you have to throw it away.
Yes.
I've done it.
Yes.
So again, it like if you eat spaghetti where you're going to cover it in tomato and it's going to be completely, yeah, I would go ahead and discard that. But if it's something like if you eat a sandwich with some potato chips on the side, you can just rinse that off. Maybe a light little,
Swipe it off. I mean, literally, or a piece of pizza that nothing got on it type
use it
thing.
again. Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Steve, I just want to mention something. I know it's a slight twist, but it's in alignment with the paper plates. I've been watching a lot of videos about various lifestyles where people live. Some people on purpose want to, for example, live in vans or, situations that just to avoid spending tons and tons of money on housing. I get that. In a case like that, people are on the road constantly. Sure, have paper plates, not have to use your water up too much. I mean, right? There are so many circumstances where it's really not a bad idea to go for the paper plates.
No, it's not. It's not. You know, but again, make sure you get a halfway decent one. You don't want that old flimsy one that's got the thumbprint looking.
Now,
Those are though
when I
now.
have a
Oh,
party or a holiday season, I'm gonna use that brand name, the Chinette ones. Okay, I know it's
Chinette
so
is one of
right.
your better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll try to buy them in bulk. They're great. What, Steve?
if you can locate Chinette in the off brand, do it.
Yeah.
No, I've bought Chinette in the past. They've no, the quality is good. You're gonna pay for it now at times,
You
but
are. It holds up the head like if you serve lasagna, the heavy greasy foods or
oh yeah,
greasy burgers or whatever it is the case may
it
be.
will.
They're very strong and they're well worth it.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I can't really think of a whole lot, of any other thing we can discuss here. I mean, I primarily wanted to mention about, the Dollar Tree, dollar store, you have to know the prices. That's you don't necessarily got to be right on point with the price, but have a middle of the road general feel of how
Knowledge
much.
is power, Steve. You are so right.
Yeah, so all of you definitely keep grocery store prices versus somewhere else pricing in mind. No, because you want to save money. Now if it's too far out of your way to go to the other store, if it's like a mile or two away and it's not way out of your way to go there, yeah, maybe it's worth. But if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, if it's out of your way to go to the other, don't do that. Just buy the product there. Again,
Yes,
at
I
the time,
100% agree.
go back to what I said, and like you say, at the time, yeah, because if it's only a 40, 50 cent difference, why do you want to drive that extra mileage? You're going to burn more gas
Yes.
just to go there one way to save 30. Nah, just get it there. But it, but I guess it also depends on the circumstance. If the store's
You're
not
right.
full, you know,
That's
okay,
why I said every situation is different and we're all not cookie cutter.
that's right. No, we're not. So anyway, Jan, I'm glad that you were able to stop in.
Thanks for having me by.
Sure. And I want to thank all of you for stopping by and checking out our video. We do this usually, most likely, once a week. So definitely, be on the lookout. I will definitely always put the word out a little bit ahead of time about a video that's going to go up. So I will definitely keep everybody of and Jan, we keep everybody in the know of what's to come about. But don't get me wrong, there's times that we've been spontaneous too. So, you know. All right, want to thank all of you for tuning in, and Jan and I will see you guys back here next time.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.